developments. Let's go ahead and bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab. He's following this for us from Jerusalem. Imtiaz, we see there, I believe it's just almost 9 o'clock local time. Many who are observing Shabbat may not even know that this is happening. What reaction so far are you tracking?
Hey, that's a very important point that you point out. Let's talk a little bit about the choreography here for a second. It is not lost on many people, including here in Israel, the timing of the president's statement, the fact that it is Shabbat, in which many Israelis unplug their phones, turn off their phones rather, do not connect digitally. And so they are not likely to hear what the president has laid out, this proposal from Israel to ending this conflict and making a deal with Hamas. They're not likely to see it until sunset of tomorrow, so really around 24 hours from now. Now, when I say choreography, it's very clear here that there are certain constituents that are not likely folded into whatever this agreement has been reached between all of these various parties that the president laid out. Of course, Israel as well. And that is who he singled out, which is there are factions within Israel's own cabinet. The extreme right-wing members of that cabinet, there are Orthodox parties as well, who are going to be very angry to hear that Israel has agreed to the terms of this very broad proposal and indeed is putting it forward to Hamas. And I should also add, we've been monitoring Israeli media here as well, and it would appear that they were aware of this deal, and they're using language that they were not able to report this deal until now, until the president has said it. So this has not come completely out of nowhere, but it does seem that the extreme elements in the Israeli government that the president talked about, who want this war to continue, who want to see Gaza resettled, and sort of painting this picture as this part of this Israeli society which doesn't want to see the war to end, that they very likely were not aware that this was happening. And so again, the choreography is extremely significant. Putting that all aside for a moment, the deal itself is extraordinarily significant. The fact that you have Israel now, for the very first time, setting out very clear and very defined structure, if you will, of how this conflict could end, which would eventually see not only the hostages come home, but a complete cessation of violence and Israel completely withdrawing from Gaza, which is not something that we've heard from the Israeli leadership. And so it will be very interesting to see what happens within the next 24 hours when we hear from Prime Minister Netanyahu, who we're not likely to hear from because, as you rightly point out, it is currently Shabbat here in Israel.
Imtiaz, I can't help but wonder that this is happening when we're seeing, and CBS News is reporting, tanks in Rafah. We know that, of course, that deadly strike that happened on Sunday, killing at least 45 Palestinians, has been major news. And also the fact that a U.S.-made bomb was found after analysis of the site, the fact that aid has been so hard to get aid in, the U.S.-built pier is out of commission right now. How is all of that playing into the timeliness of this announcement?
All of it. Every single one of those points which you laid out is so crucial to what I think we're seeing here right now and the urgency with it. And let's be also clear, I think domestic policy or politics in the U.S. are also playing a big role here. And it's very clear and very evident that as we watch the horrors in Gaza unfold, in HD on our television sets or on our mobile phones, that this has become so untenable that the Biden administration needed to do something. But the reality is that Israel is a sovereign country. Israelis decide for themselves what they're going to do. And so the fact that this proposal, from the sounds of it, is coming from Israel is hugely significant.
Okay, Imtiaz Tyab, thank you so much for helping us break down this breaking news.